Viruses completes its life cycle when it enters into the host cell, that is prokaryote or archaea, otherwise eukaryote such as plant cell or animal cells. The nature of the reproduction is subdivided viruses into two broad categories. One is lytic cycles or lytic viruses, and another one is lysogenic viruses. Lytic viruses completes its life cycle rapidly in the host cell, but in case of lysogenic viruses, they spends some time within those particular bacteria or human cells as a dormant condition, and so such that conditions they are called as lysogenic viruses. Hello friends, welcome to Biology Concern. I am Manimesh, and in this video I am going to discuss about the lytic cycle and lysogenic cycle of viral reproduction or viral life cycles. So let's jump into the topic. Firstly, whenever a virus enters into our cell or enters into a bacterial cell, they either proliferate itself rapidly or otherwise they spend some time within our body or bacteria's body in a dormant stage. This is called lysogenic phase. So the lytic viruses are known as their rapid action and rapid proliferation. So basically lytic viruses are rapid action or rapid proliferations. Example of these lytic viruses are T virus such as T2, T4 and etc. And lysogenic viruses become dormant in some portion of the life cycles, and the examples of the lysogenic viruses are lambda-phage. Okay. The seminal experiments of George and Eva Klein helped to define two life cycles, that is the lysogenic cycle and the lytic cycle of Epstein-Barr viruses, and these are the first evidence of two viral life cycles, that is latency and lytic infection. So first of all, lytic cycle is rapid. So whenever a T2 cell or T2 bacteria virus enters into the host cell like bacteriums, so they proliferate numerously. Okay, so this is a T2 virus. So this is a T2 or T4 or T virus. So this is a T virus, and whenever these T virus attack into the host cell such as bacterial cell, so this is a bacteria. So this is a bacteria. Okay, so whenever these kind of viruses, T viruses, get attached with these bacteria and they inject their genetic material, so this is the genetic material. So inject the genetic material within the bacteria. Okay, and this first step is known as attachment. So this is the first step and known as attachment. After the attachment completion, there is another phase when these particular viruses insert their genetic material inside into the bacteria's body, and it comes from the virus to the bacteria, and now this bacteria is known as host. So now this bacteria is known as host, and the naked shell that is present outside of the bacterium cell surface is known as host. Okay, so this term is known as penetration. So this term is known as penetration. So penetration is the major thing, so that first criteria of the lytic cycle. So after getting transferred this genetic material of the particular virus, so this is the genetic material, okay, GM, genetic material. So this genetic material now fuses with particular bacterial DNA or bacterial chromosomal DNA, such as, so this is the bacterial DNA. So In this case, in the third phase, these particular viral genetic materials are attached with bacterial DNAs or bacterial chromosomal DNAs. So whenever they are associated, these viral genetic materials are associated with the bacterial genetic material, this viral genetic material is now works and it replicates itself, and quickly it's hijacked the bacteria's entire metabolism system. Okay, so whenever it hijacks the bacteria's entire metabolic system, then it produces large number of capsules, that is the virus capsules, and genetic materials of the particular virus, that is the T2 or T4 or T viruses. So they produces large number of capsids as well as the genetic materials, and in this case 100 and 200 viral particles will be produced inside the bacteria's body, and after that, after getting synthesized those particles, viral particles, they actually burst out the cell and comes into the environment. So the next step, they burst out the cell, okay, and comes to the environment. So this is the completion of lytic cycle. So in the lytic cycle, the virus enters, the viral particles enters in the bacterium, and it hijacks the bacterium's metabolism and produces large number of viral capsid and viral genetic materials, and after that it penetrates the bacterium cell membrane and it comes out from the bacterium to the environment. So this is the completion of the lytic cycle. Okay, so in the stage of lysogenic cycle, so in lysogenic cycle, the penetration will be same, the attachment and the penetration will be same. After attachment and penetration, so after attachment and penetration, so after attachment and penetration, the viral DNA is attached with the bacterial DNA. So viral DNA is attached with the bacterial DNA, and it remains dormant some times of the bacterial's reproduction. Okay, so it remains silent, it remains inactivate in the bacteria's body, and whenever this particular bacteria reproduces and production of bacteria's life cycle complete, okay, so bacterial life cycle is completed, and now these bacteria will proliferate and the viral genetic material remain dormant or remain silent or inactivate in this condition. So this is the viral genetic material, right? So this kind of viral genetic material remains silent or inactivate in the total phase or in the certain phase of the bacteria's life cycle. So now bacteria will reproduce, and whenever it reproduces, it also makes a copy of viral genetic DNAs. Okay, so it also makes a copy of viral genetic materials. So after some generations or after the production of some generations of bacteriums, whenever these bacteria are produces in large numbers, such as say for example 500 to 1000, so after some time those all of the viral genetic materials become activated. So after this time, all of the viral genetic material, so viral genetic material now been activated, become activate. Okay, so after few life cycles of bacteria's reproduction, these viral genetic materials now become activated and they now complete the lytic cycle. That means in all of the bacteriums, the viral genetic materials become activated and it hijacks the bacterium's metabolism and ultimately produces viral genetic material in large number along with their capsids. Okay, so after that, whenever it producing its genetic material and capsid, now it lyses the bacterium's cell membrane and comes out from the bacterium into the environment. Okay, so it now comes out from the bacterium to the environment. So what is the benefit of this kind of lysogenic cycles? So let's assume that first, in case of T viruses that complete lytic cycles, they only produces 100 to 200 virus per cycle. Okay, 100 to 200 virus per cycle. So this is the standard production of viruses. But in this case, when the bacteria contains the viral genetic material and it remains dormant some time, then the bacterium produces its copy. That means the bacteria goes into the reproduction. So bacteria completes its reproduction, and after certain life cycles, say for example 50 bacteria will produce. So 50 bacteria will produce. So after producing the 50 bacteria, those dormant viral genetic materials now become activated and they hijacks the bacteria's metabolism, bacteria's cellular functions, and then it completes its life cycle. That means it produces the viral DNA genetic material along with the viral capsids, and those assuming that each of the bacterium produces 100 viruses. Okay, so 100 viruses into 50 bacterium. Okay, into 50 bacterium. So now we get 5000 virus particle. So this is the large number, a huge number of virus particle comes at a time, but it needs some time to become a dormant condition. Okay, so this is the major difference between lytic cycle and lysogenic cycle. Whereas in lytic cycle we are getting 100 to 200 viruses per cycle of the life cycle of this particular virus, but in this case let's assume in case per bacteria produces 100 viruses and 50 bacterium will produce, and those 50 bacterium, each of the bacterium contains 100 viruses. Okay, so each of the particular bacterium produces 100 viruses. Now total virus number is 5000. So there is a huge number of virus particle getting produced and it comes out from the bacterium to the environment. So this is the basic difference between lytic and lysogenic cycle, and this is the total mechanism of lytic and lysogenic cycle. I hope this video helpful for you to understand the mechanism of lytic and lysogenic cycles, and those particular bacteria in which the viral genetic material become dormant, those particular bacteria are known as lysogen. Okay, lysogen. So if you like that video, please hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.